Michael,
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, my friend. How are
I'm
you?
doing good. I'm doing good. We got a Brian.
Brian?
I can't pronounce the last name. Sorry, Brian. I want to say no,
Hune, probably.
you probably. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about the Dune that just came out.
Yes.
Yeah. And got me thinking through the week preparing for the show. Hey, Graham.
Hey,
And
Graham.
we're going to talk about Dune, but it got me thinking about, how, like Marvel and Star Wars, and DC, they do the
Yeah.
spinoffs. And I thought to myself,
Oh, yeah.
and then I've heard that Dune, they thought about doing some spinoffs too. So I thought, why don't I pitch a couple ideas? Would you like to
I'm
see
going to
some of my?
regret this, aren't I?
No, you're going to. I got a couple ideas.
Okay, Mike. So, what ideas do you think about pitching?
Okay. Now, a spinoff of Dune could be, and I'm kind of bringing a whole superhero aspect of a villain, uh, Doctor Dune, and then if you don't want that, you can go with like I like Dune Patrol. That's another one. That could be like a
There
whole
you
new.
go. Okay.
And if you
Okay.
want something that's a little more educational, something a little more, I don't know, highbrow, you can do Dune Park. That would be a. And then for the
They're a
classics,
little overdressed.
overdressed, yeah. But you can go for like a classic, something a little more, I don't know. Back in the day, you can do, Dungy Hauser, MD. I thought that. So, and then this is a good one. I remember as a kid, it's different Dunes. So I thought that might work out pretty good. But my favorite one, and I think this is one that I think Warner Brothers gonna really jump on, is Dune Watch. I think Dune Watch will actually get a lot of subscribers on HBO Max. So that's just I have a few more, but I thought I'd save it because I mean it's like diamonds, man. It's like crypto right now. It's like whatever, so hey,
maybe we should start the show.
I think we should start the show. Yes, sir.
It's the Speaking Dirty podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Shilley.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe.
I don't regret. If it wasn't the Hoff, it wouldn't be so funny.
Yeah, I know. It's the Hoff. I mean, it's the Hoff. I mean,
okay, that was funny. That was really good, Mike.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, man. What do we have today?
Well, we
got
have
a lot of new people watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
David Little, appreciate the show.
Is it Dune Watch more of a skin?
Whoa,
wow.
Okay. Wow, we got some live ones with us
hey,
today.
David.
David, welcome to the show. We like you already. Welcome to the show, my friend. Oh man. That's some good stuff.
Where is it?
Oh my. Oh my.
That's right. They need 2 columns on our list over here. Yeah, that's what we need.
You stick with the images. I'll play the video.
Yeah, you do that. Hey, well, this is the nerdy happenings of the week. We're going to start off with. This is just the news that we pick up just across the week that all us nerds are interested in. Of course, coming up pretty soon. I finally saw the poster of Hawkeye that's going to come out on Disney Plus. Yes, it's a 2-episode premiere streaming November the 24th.
Oh, they're going to do 2 episodes again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. I guess they're kind of doing that now. They're kind of doing like
they did that with WandaVision.
Yeah.
And they said they did it because they knew it was going to be weird and different.
Well, and it kind of helps. Yeah. Kind of helps draw people in, even though it took a couple episodes for people to actually kind of sync up to it.
A lot of people did not make it past the first 3.
But hey, it was really good. I think it was worth sticking around.
Oh, absolutely.
If you
I'm looking forward to Hawkeye.
I am too. I really am. The next one, the happening of the week, is they're actually, if you're a Stargate fan, they're actually going to reunite the cast to do a script reading, an AI script reading, which means the AI will come up with its own script and they will read it as the characters, which will be interesting.
That
I don't have,
sounds scary.
I don't have any further information on it, but I'm a Stargate fan and I love the original SG1 team. So I know it's kind of, with all its hokey and really bad special effects, I am a fan of it.
I never got into the show, but I absolutely loved the movie.
The movie was awesome. I love that. Oh, Grandpa,
Hey, Graham,
Dunes of Hazard.
Hazard.
Write that one down.
Yes.
That's a good one. Where was he when I was trying to come up
Good
with
call.
stuff? I love that, because I could have had the General Lee fly up a dune. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna go there. But anyhow, yeah. So, and being a Star Wars fan, I'm really excited about this. We all know Ahsoka is going to come out pretty soon.
Yes.
I'm right now. I don't know. I think they're still writing some of the information. Still writing some of the script. But apparently, and I thought that was kind of funny. It was on, and excuse me here, I'm trying to get her. Boss Hog is
Harkonnen. That's
he's
good.
He actually has his own, he actually can do his own YouTube on this. The the using the Dukes of Hazzard as a types and shadow of Dune. But anyway, I'm trying Rosario. Oh man, help me out.
Rosario Dawson. Is it Dawson?
Yes, Rosario Dawson, who's going to play, of course, Ahsoka, made a comment when she found out that Hayden Christensen is going to return as Darth Vader, and actually, he is going to return on the Ahsoka series.
That's
now it was this
was already supposed to be in the
Kenobi.
On the Kenobi series.
Now, the thing is, this came out on Screen Rant October the 23rd. And from my reading is that she made a comment when she found out. She tweeted, and it read, Sky Guy, Sky Guy, they know. See you soon, Snips. Well, Snips was, and it was the nickname.
The nickname.
I think as soon as Disney saw that, they removed it. So they removed the tweet, they deleted the post, but now after the fact, but now several days later they say, yeah, it's going to happen. So, and what's funny about it is that the actors, they were dating for a very long time.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they were a couple a while back. So yeah. So anyway, a little side bit there, but and also So anyway, this also covers that as well, but. David Little, she was the Mandalorian after all. Do you think it'll be a flashback sequence with Anakin? That's a good question.
Well, it depends on the time frame.
Well, and also too, she's, unless they get a younger actor that plays a younger version of her in the flashbacks, because right now she is more mature.
Well, and if she's, see, this is where this gets a little weird.
Yeah.
If the Ahsoka show
good question
is post Mandalorian, it has to be a flashback or a Force ghost.
Yeah, it has to be something.
Because the timeline.
Well, now that's an interesting point. The Force ghost, because he did turn up like 40 years younger in Return of the Jedi.
He did. I hate that.
You too. Yeah. And then, Obi-Wan's going, well, this sucks. And Yoda's saying, I can't get any taller than this. And this dude gets 40 years younger. The Force sucks.
I was going to say the next update to Return of the Jedi, they're gonna just remove Alec Guinness completely.
Yeah.
And they're going to insert Ewan McGregor at the end.
Exactly. It's going to happen. Oh, how sad.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Oh. Well, speaking of the show, Dune, apparently it's doing pretty good. Dune wins big at the box office.
40 million isn't a huge
it's not
blowout, but for
w
right now, it's not bad. And
yeah.
it did hit over 200,000 for the worldwide weekend. So
Oh, David Little says, "I have mixed feelings. Didn't know it was going to be 2 movies."
2
Yeah, we're gonna
movies.
talk about
We'll
that because
talk a little bit
that was
about that.
kinda
Yep.
good point. And Kathy Duvall, is that right? Is there going
Is
to
it going
be
to be
2 or 3 movies? I think they're gonna be, far as I know, they're breaking it up in 2 parts. The first part just came out, and then the second part,
It looks
I
like right now it's just going to be 2. But if
doing
it
Warner
does
Brothers, if it does well.
and
Yeah.
there is so much material.
Yes.
There's so many other books
Yeah, and you know
that
what?
it
Yeah.
could go on,
Well, in
but
my doing this research, like I said, I've never read the book of Dune, so my compadre has. So it's going to be real
multiple times.
interesting coming from my perspective and his perspective, who've read the book. So we'll get into that, but this also, well, and this is going to also add to it too. This is my thing, is Dune Part 2, action packed. And this is one of the things that's on my review
Yep.
here. Dennis Vanilla View, I don't know, Villain View says that Dune Part 2 will have more action and less talking. I laid the base of the world. It's done. Now I can just have fun with the cinema. And I think that has been the biggest complaint for people.
Yeah.
That it really, for a lot of people, it kind of fell flat in the middle. Now, for me, who haven't read the book, it's interesting because we look at this book that was written when
1965. Well, written prior to 1965 because it was released in. Are we going to get into this right now, or do we want to?
That's right. I forgot about it. Man, I'm already in Dune Patrol here.
Good. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl, welcome to the show. We missed you last time.
Okay, should we do stupid news?
You know what? Now I totally forgot. How can I forget about stupid news? Let's go for some. I know I have issues. Let's go ahead.
It's the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
I need to wake up the Florida man and take that comment down. Let's see here. Yes. Florida
man is running our comments for us today. Thank you very much, sir.
Quick. Hey, how you doing, Florida man? Okay, there we go. That was quick with the Florida man here. A little fun that we have with him. He enjoys it. So anyway, in the news and the stupid news, because we always provide stupid news besides a stupid show. Apparently, accused burglar said that motive was desire to see his imaginary girlfriend, Emma. Police report. Apparently, an accused audio burglar. I'm thinking of automobile burglar told cops that he broke into a vehicle so he could see his imaginary girlfriend, Emma.
His imaginary girlfriend.
Yes.
He used the words imaginary girlfriend.
He did. But also he said with whom he visits while tripping on meth. According to Florida Police Department. Did I forget to mention it was in Florida?
Oh, of course it was.
Matthew Herbert, 43. Surprise. Herbert was 43. He was arrested Tuesday evening after witness spotted him attempting to burglarize a Nissan truck parked outside a Walmart. During police questioning, he reportedly admitted opening the vehicle tailgate and looking for something to take. As seen, he explained that he intended to sell those things for some meth so that he could see Emma. That was sweet. So, of course, he was arrested. He was arrested for burglary and also carrying concealed weapon and a butterfly knife during the commission of the criminal offense. Now he's locked up, for theft, robbery, narcotics, possession. And boy, I tell you what, he's going to have to get his girlfriend some flowers. I can tell you that right now. That's not
imaginary flowers, at least.
Well, that's true. Apparently, yeah. I love technology anymore, and I can't stand spammers though. Every technology we have new ways of people trying to scam us, trying to get us to.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how many warranties I have out of date right now. So with that in mind, officials said that a hiker who was lost on a mountain for 24 hours ignored calls from the rescue crew because he didn't recognize the phone number.
Ooh,
According,
ouch.
according to Lake County Search and Rescue, the hiker was reported missing last week after he never returned from a trek on Mount Albert in Colorado, the highest summit of the Rocky Mountains. After an unsuccessful search of the area where hikers typically get lost, crews learned that the lost individual had returned to their place of lodging. One notable takeaway is that the subject ignored the repeated phone calls from us because he didn't recognize the number, official says. They said, if you're overdue according to the itinerary and you start getting repeated calls for any unknown numbers, please answer it. Rescue crew said. Okay, so anyway, I think that's one situation. I mean, if you can get a cell phone signal, I mean, that's one thing I think is pretty amazing.
I was going to say, if I'm lost in the woods, anybody who calls me, I don't care where they're from, I'm answering it.
I'm going to renew
like, hey, I don't really need your insurance, but I really need you to call the police right now.
Dude, I'll renew my warranty if you can get me out of here. That's warranty I don't even have. This is interesting too. I came across awfully odd, of course, kind of what we specialized in, but they say defending yourself in court is rarely recommended, but in this situation, appointing a stuffed owl as your lawyer is really bird-brained. Nevertheless,
owl?
Yes, exactly. Nevertheless, that's who or what Charles Abbott brought as his attorney when he appeared in Aspen, Colorado courtroom.
What? Okay, so when the judge says who's representing the defendant, it goes who?
Yeah,
who?
Exactly.
Who's representing?
Exactly. I think it's pretty appropriate. The guy's name is Abbott. Of course, that's showing my age. But Abbott is apparently, brought his attorney when he appeared in Aspen, Colorado courtroom on Tuesday. Abbott is accused of violating a protection order involving his former roommate, Michael Strahan. The order was filed after Abbott allegations assaulted Strahan in an Alcoholic Anonymous meeting. I don't know why I find that funny. I just do. Strahan said Abbott violated the order by going to his home to retrieve belongings when the victim was out of town. In court, Abbott placed a fuzzy stuffed owl, as we see right here, as his legal counsel. He said, "This is my legal counsel," until a public defender was assigned to his case by the judge. Abbott said he's a very sensitive guy, has a law degree, he told the judge, from Yale, Harvard, and Stanford. So he's very educated. Abbott told the judge, according to the paper. Yes. He's like, I think
the owl.
The owl. No.
Okay.
Yes, the bird, basically.
He was on. This was in Colorado, right?
Yes.
Rocky Mountain High.
Rocky Mountain High. That's right. Maybe he found the hiker. I don't know. Maybe there's a correlation there. I don't know, but anyhow, the judge ignored the owl.
Imagine that.
Who had little to say during the proceedings, but Strahan, anyway, they did have a mediation between Strahan, his roommate, and Abbott. Right now, the owl has no comment, so that is stupid news.
Oh my goodness. This has been the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
So today we're going to talk about Dune. Usually we don't bring our comment man out. Sometimes we do, but today he's particularly dapper. I don't know if you know him. We call him the AKA Florida Man, Todd V. Apparently, he's either he's strung out on meth, talking to his girlfriend Emma, or he's celebrating the festive Halloween holidays. Hello there, our man, Mr. Florida Man, and you kind of
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. We take our
like
meth very seriously.
You look like the owl attorney, actually, from this standpoint.
Who's that?
Ooh, nice hat, nice hat. I feel like you're going to clean
Thank
chimneys,
you.
or
Thank you.
or might be one of those serial killers in 1800 England. So anyhow, so
best $20 I ever spent.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to have control of this show. So we're going to talk about.
I'm really asleep.
And there he goes. So what I'm trying to say is,
let's talk about Dune.
Let's talk about Dune, please. So, did you get that thing I said? What was that thing he said? I don't know. Did you get that thing I sent you? I
don't know what he means.
I don't know. But you know what? If you send it to us, we probably didn't get it because we don't have no clue. But hey, we're here. We're
just send it again.
Send it again because we're here. Well, we're here for you guys, for all of you. So Dune right now, I guess you've read the book.
I've read the book. I've seen the movie. I saw the 84 movie.
Yeah.
So I did not watch the TV show.
No, I didn't see the TV show.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's totally right.
Nice tie-in, David.
That was a good tie-in. So, yeah. So I don't know how we start this because there's just so much to it. But I guess to kind of start it off, and I know you.
Well, we do know. I was going to say we might as well start it out with this.
Yeah.
It has been reported. Multiple sources are saying the second movie has been greenlit.
Exactly.
I'm not super surprised.
I'm not either.
I'm really surprised they didn't greenlight it before.
Well, and I read an article that was one thing that, an article I was reading, and I can't remember the author's name, the writer's name, and he says, this is typical of WB, has not learned anything from the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. I mean, they're one of the, they wait until something is good and they'll continue with it instead of, let's invest in it, let's stay with it, and let's see it through. So again, in Warner Brothers' great wisdom, they go, hey, this is good. It's good getting acclaim, critical acclaim. We're making some money. Let's do it again. So, but yeah, you're right, because if they weren't going to make a second one, this one didn't make any freaking sense.
It really had little purpose, little sense without the second one. And I mean, when I heard early on that it was going to be 2 parts, David says Denny's is going to market a new breakfast dish, Dune over Miami's. Nice.
We need him on our writing staff.
I know.
That's good.
That was good.
Or at least in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Well,
so okay, so what I was gonna say was, when I heard it was going to be 2-part, I thought we were talking about something like, Lord of the Rings,
exactly,
where they basically shot all 3 movies, but finalized production in stages to release each one separately.
Which is pretty smart,
which isn't a bad idea, and multiple movies have done that now. So I thought that's what we were doing here, but my understanding is nothing has been shot for the second film. It is completely, it's nothing.
Which I would think in something like this, because this is the thing, when you make a movie like this, you got to be committed to it, because the longer you wait, I mean, a lot of people who saw this, like I said, I know somewhat about Dune. I've read stuff about it. I didn't read the book. So I came in like most people coming in who doesn't have the background of the book. So if you're going to do a movie like this, and I'm not going to see it in 3 years, well, am I going to see that? Am I going to go see that movie? And anymore, some of these movies, they can't afford having a 3-year gap anymore. Some of these movies. And so they've got to get right in the, as soon as they release that movie, they need to get right in the middle and start with a new one. Kind of like what Marvel does.
I think this leads to something you started to say before we switched over and did Stupid News.
Yeah.
You started to talk about the one thing that kind of bugged you about this movie.
Yeah.
You were talking about how it was paced.
Yeah. I think for most people, the deal is this book came out way before Star Wars, and George Lucas did make a comment that he drew some inspiration from Dune from the book.
Some people say up to 37 references.
Yes, exactly. But in New Hope, they basically give you a beginning, a middle, and a finish, and you're in for the ride. And of course, this is a different movie. You can't compare the two, or you can, depending how you want to look at it. I guess you could if they made 1 and 2 together. Now, let me ask you this, because there's so much story in this. I don't know. Could they gotten away with doing 1 movie for all the content that they wanted in it? Because there's some stuff. I mean, I think personally,
if we got a 4.5 hour cut, Zack Snyder kind of cut, yes.
Well, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. We tried this in the 80s, and it was
it didn't work. It was
just okay at best.
You're being nice. I mean, they killed Sting. I mean, come on now. David Little says
2 different versions of the 80s one. I haven't seen I've only seen one version of it. And it was in the 80s when I saw it. So I haven't watched it again in literally decades since I saw that version. But let's look at, speaking of the book. So let's look at that for just a minute. It's the 1960s. This is 1965.
Yeah.
Classic sci-fi was different.
Yeah.
When Star Wars showed up on the scene, Star Wars wasn't a book. It was never a book. If you've seen the novel, it's a novel based on the screenplay.
Exactly.
Which is the exact opposite of what Dune is. Dune is a screenplay based on the novel. So it's 2 different worlds. Classic sci-fi was highly into cultural references, psychosocial issues, current social issues addressed in a futuristic society. It was all these things that were hidden away in classic sci-fi that aren't the kind of things Star Wars was. Star Wars was an adventure movie. Dune was kind of it had a lot of social commentary in reality, but they weren't sure how to bring that to the screen. And I mean, depending on what version of the book you picked up, what edition, I mean, it's like 600 pages.
Yeah, from what I've heard, and
if you don't know much about screenplays are basically 1 page per minute.
Yeah.
So there's no way to do that. We're not making a 10-hour movie. That's not happening.
I think the thing
the Navigator put it best when he said, "I see plots within plots." Because that's how Dune was. It was plots.
Have you taken the show drug test? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we do have a drug test for all employees, except for us. We are exempt from that. From the 2 of us.
He is right that there are multiple plot lines.
Actually, it is. Yeah.
David has a comment here. He said they shot 5 hours for the 1984 version. I believe it.
Yeah, I believe
if they
that
tried
too.
if they tried to do the book, you'd have to. There's just no way around it.
I think the thing is, and some people, and listen, I didn't read the book. I'm okay when they take liberty from a book. I mean, it's okay. For me, it's okay. It's most movies based off of books are not strictly off the content. They just take the bookends of both ends and they make something out of it.
I'm definitely with you. I will say, I think this was well done.
Yeah.
Without stepping too far away from the source material.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were things that were left out.
Yeah.
But I think there were threads that they didn't have to address. Threads they didn't have to follow.
Yeah. I think for me, like I said, in the beginning, it pulled me in the beginning and to the very point when the house of Arteles.
It's Harkonnen and House Atreides.
House Atreides was attacked up to that point, and Paul and his mother escaped.
Yes.
I think from that point, it could have stopped. And I think it could have, the next movie could have started from there and tell the rest of the story. Because there was a lot of lull. There was a lot. I mean, like, again, it fell flat for me.
It was a slow movie.
It was a slow movie. Okay, I understand people love the book, but if you're going to go see a movie, I can't fall asleep in my lazy boy. And that's the thing I felt. Now, after I saw it and I started writing up the review and I started thinking about it, I was really excited about part 2 coming up. Because the most exciting part of it, besides up to the point where they're attacked by the Arkand, is, when at the last 15 minutes where you see him fighting in the middle of the battlefield. And if you haven't read the book, you're going, what's going on here? I mean, he's all suddenly, this golden knight Messiah. And so there's no build up to that. So that's why I say somewhere in this movie, it could have stopped.
So you bring up, you've mentioned an interesting point, and it's something that everybody who watches this movie has to understand.
Yeah.
I think you said the word Messiah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's one of the books.
I feel like it was hinted at, but it wasn't drawn out clearly enough.
Yeah.
Paul is considered the Messiah.
Yeah.
And in the book and in part 2, we'll actually find out 2 different groups of people are trying to make him the Messiah.
Yeah, exactly.
David Little says, I think the bagpiper survived because his pipes are actually at a weird
module. That's about right. That's funny.
I heard the bagpiper was actually Hans Zimmer, the guy who did the music.
Yeah.
I have not read that was, I haven't gotten that officially, but I heard that was true.
Dude, I didn't realize all those. I didn't realize all the, all the what do they call it? Sound.
All the sound design music.
Yeah. Well,
the score.
Sound, all the trailer sounds that he's did, all the movie scores. I mean.
Oh yeah, Hans Zimmer has done amazing stuff.
So anyway,
so this idea of Messiah is super important because number one, and this is something I don't know if you quite pick up in the movie. It's mentioned like in one line of text, of one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Paul is not supposed to be the Messiah. The next generation, Lady Jessica was supposed to have a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
And that girl was then supposed to have a boy who was going to be the Messiah.
Yeah.
Lady Jessica jumped the gun and decided to have a boy.
Yeah, the female Jedis wasn't happy with that.
Yes. So there's this weird thing where it's like Lady Jessica wants him to be the Messiah, and he now has to be the Messiah, but he wasn't supposed to be the Messiah. But then in the second movie, when we get to the Fremen, he is going to become the Fremen's Messiah.
Yeah.
So that's actually a huge part of this story. And I think you gather he's the hero, but I don't think you gather that he is supposed to be this Messiah that's supposed to rise up and basically take over the galaxy for these whole two different groups of
Well,
people
see, I haven't
expect
seen
him
the
to
book.
be
I
their
haven't seen,
Messiah.
like I said, I hadn't read the book, but the second part. See, the problem is for me, I see what's happened to the point, and the underwhelming boss fight with what at the very end with one of the Freeman tribesmen. That was like the most. Why even
Jameis.
go there? I
Okay,
mean,
so can we talk about Jameis for just a second?
yeah, let's talk about Jameis.
Okay, so this is okay. We're doing spoilers here, folks.
Oh yeah, let's hit that
and
thing.
should we do the spoiler
Yeah, let's
alert?
just do that real quick because people are gonna if you okay,
that's your
there we go.
spoiler alert. If you haven't read a book that's almost 60 years old, or watched the 84 movie
Yeah,
that's
84.
almost 40 years old, I don't know what else I'm going to be able to spoil for you, but that fight actually bothers me for a couple of reasons. In the books, it happens just a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay. And I thought that it didn't have enough weight behind it, because Paul hadn't had enough time with the Fremen to start to have that conflict.
Yeah.
It was simply I'm a young boy and his mother, gave us trouble just now, and now I feel like, I feel slighted.
Yeah, this came out of nowhere.
But if it happened a little bit later, if it had, if we had another 10 or 15 minutes of Paul and the Fremen, and seeing them interact, and seeing Jameis gradually, get madder and madder.
The problem.
There would have been some emotional buildup, but there wasn't.
Well, see, and that's my point. There could have been a point where somewhere in that film it could have stopped. And then the next one, you can see the gradual struggle of him becoming the Messiah, because at the very end, you see, there it is, here he is. And it's like, I don't see any struggle. I don't see how he's getting there. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about the book, but at the very end, where the last 15 minutes and he's fighting Jameson, it felt forced. I didn't even read the book, but it just didn't. It
still didn't settle right.
It just didn't settle right. It didn't make sense to me in the context.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
So,
that being said, I really enjoyed the movie.
I thought the movie was good. Like I said, I had to, after I watched it and you asked me how I liked it, and the one word I said was long. Remember that in the text?
Yes, you said it was long.
But I had to really reevaluate it afterwards. I had to really think about it more and more. And I told myself, this is, Kathy Duvall says, so are the special effects worth seeing in the theaters, or I shall wait on the DVD? That's a good question, because I was going to ask you this, Ricky. Do you think there would have been a different, you think I would have had a better experience if I was at the movie theaters versus watching it on television, because of the grandeur of this, the cinematography? I wondered about that.
I'm a little conflicted.
Yeah.
Because I really love going to the theaters. I'm in a certain situation right now where I can't.
Yeah.
So I watched it on HBO Max, like many people
and I did too. Yeah.
But I do think musically, sound design wise, the theater can't be beat.
Well, and for some things, I think it enhances the movie. It enhances the movie.
Does.
And I think this movie would have enhanced it. And I thought to myself, if I saw it in the movie theaters, I wonder if I would came away a little more excited about it. Instead of sitting in my living room in a lazy boy recliner where I'm halfway asleep, that's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah.
And watching it.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
David's got an explanation for the fight.
David says they wanted to kill Jessica for her water content and take Paul because he was young enough to train. Paul defended his mom. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get Paul's. Yeah. I understand Paul's motivation.
Yeah, I do too.
For taking the fight.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Jameis had a motivation for calling him out
at that time. You're saying, yeah, okay.
That's my deal. It's not the Paul side of it; it's the Jameis side of it. Daryl says, I watched it at home. Also, I heard it's amazing in the theaters. I've heard it's amazing in the theaters. The cinematography looks great.
Yeah, I mean,
I think seeing it on is it IMAX?
I believe it would be on the IMAX.
Okay. I think it would be completely impressive in IMAX. There were definitely some effects that I think could have looked better on a big screen than on, the small screen.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, and you said, would you be more excited about it? It wouldn't have helped the pacing.
No,
it still would have been a slow movie.
Slow pacing.
It's still,
do you think they could have done some?
This is a movie about world building.
Yeah.
With a couple of exciting fight scenes.
Events, yeah. Well, I think part of it at the end.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Daryl's talking about, TV versus theater. The sheer immensity of all the things in Dune, like the worms and the craft, they're all enormous.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So if you're at the theater, it has a better impact.
Yeah. Like when my dog has worms, I use a magnifying glass. It has a bigger impact when I see those suckers.
These are a different kind of worm.
Okay, good.
But I think, honestly, this movie deserves to be seen in a theater. I definitely think that. That being said, I don't think it will help the pacing.
No.
I just think it will make some things that looked beautiful look even more impressive.
Yeah. After watching it, and of course, I get the luxury of, when we're preparing for the show, I get to read a lot of material. And as I started reading at different critics, I already have my idea of what my review is going to be. But as I read a little backstory, and they mention some of the stuff about the book, I start having a bigger appreciation. And so, so I told myself, I need to watch this again with fresh eyes and see what I can glean from it. It's not going to create the pace any better, but maybe I don't know. It was a good movie for me. If I was just, Joe Blow, who wasn't going to review anything, or, not typing up a blog on it, I wouldn't recommend someone seeing it again, because it's the same outcome. It's going to be the same thing if you didn't like it. Seriously, right?
Yeah. I don't know that you're going to watch it over and over again and get an appreciation for it eventually if you didn't like it the first time.
Now, I do think if a person stuck through the very end, as we were talking, I can understand why in the very end they start showing him in battle as a Messiah, because they got to make people say, hey, I want to see the second movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's why they pumped it at the very end. And I can understand that. I still believe they could have somewhere in the movie ended it just right, where people want to go, okay, what's going to happen to him and his mother next? And how is he's going to progress in the Force? I mean, in whatever the Bennett Jennings, whatever it is, the Besettas or the
Bene Gesserit,
the Benny Goodmans. Yeah.
Well, and, okay. So I want to throw a couple things out if I can. These are a couple of things that I think they were left out.
Yeah.
I don't know that they needed to be included, but I think it helps you understand a few things a little better.
Yeah.
One of those things, we see one scene of Paul being trained.
Yeah.
But we really don't get a clear picture of why Paul is so special. He's really been trained by 3 different people. Duncan Idaho has spent years training him.
Yeah.
And then we see Gunny train him in one scene.
By the way, don't we have some great actors in this?
Oh my gosh.
And they're so good. I think that's what kept me hanging on there, because I love Roiland.
So good. Well,
and
okay, so then
what
the
a
other
transformation of this guy here.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I couldn't even recognize him. And
he was such a better Harkonnen than the other guy. The other guy was just comical, but he represented the true Harkonnen. They're brutal.
Oh, it's something else. And I think,
Yeah,
and I'm so sorry for interrupting but
that's all right.
I think he did a great job as well.
Batista did really
Batista?
well. He didn't have a lot of lines,
No.
which honestly, I was kind of looking forward to this to see. I wish he had had more lines because I really
Yeah.
want to see what kind of actor he
Yeah.
is.
If you're a
I mean,
gaming person,
he plays a really goofy, big bruiser guy really
yeah.
well, but in this movie, he's supposed to be tactical and
Yeah.
smart and not just a big bruiser. So I
Yeah.
really want to see that. I want
I
to
was
see more
gonna
of Batista.
make a comment, and I know Daryl McCarty, he's a guest on the show, and he's a gamer like me. But doesn't he look like Marcus Phoenix, or he would be on Gears of War? He has a perfect profile. They had the body for that. But anyway, I thought that was interesting while I was watching. I thought, here you go, Gears of War movie right here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So back to what I was saying earlier. The third training that you don't really hear about is the Bene Gesserit training.
Yeah.
Which is actually, it's not just the voice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just some control. There's actually fighting styles that he's being trained in by his mother that no one else would have been trained in.
Yeah.
So he gets all these different trainings. Then there's this another thing they kind of hint at, but they leave out, is the shields. Did you see the
I saw that. That was interesting.
Did you notice that sometimes when they hit, they were red, and sometimes when they hit, they were blue?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did you understand why?
Well, I know that the blue, the red was that was a strike, but it seems like within time,
velocity.
Yeah, but
Todd
go ahead.
Nailed it. This is something they don't explain in the movie. They kind of hint at.
Yeah,
but it's not clear.
Slow blade penetrates the shield.
In the books,
okay,
they have to learn a special way of fighting because when they use shields, if you strike quickly, it doesn't go through the shield. But if you strike slowly, you can penetrate the shield and stab somebody to death.
And so I can't stop looking at the Florida man. He's crossed between it's like the guy, the owl that eats how many licks on a
nice.
And then also, look at him. He looks like an evil Batman character.
I know he does.
He does.
It's Penguin meets who?
So I think he said poo. That's not good. Winnie the Pooh. So no, that's good. I like that. Go ahead.
They have to have. So Paul has learned these special fighting techniques that the Fremen would never have learned.
Okay.
And never have needed to learn. So that idea that Paul's going to go into this fight as a kid, and Jameis. This is back to the Jameis fight that still bugs me.
Yeah, it bugs me.
That Paul, honestly, Jameis was outclassed from the very beginning.
Yeah, which don't you think it's odd? Maybe his skill set. I mean, you would think maybe Paul would have a little bit of a disadvantage at that point of his growth. I
feel like he should have,
or it'd been more of a struggle at least.
I was gonna say for the emotional movement of the story, I think it makes sense. But in the way it's written, no. I mean, Paul was going to win that fight from the moment it started.
Yeah.
Yes, the Bene Gesserit fighting is very highly specialized. You remember when Jessica told the housekeeper that nothing that she had, that she wouldn't be able to hurt Jessica?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only can they use the voice, but their fighting technique is highly superior even to the military fighting.
That was interesting. The Freeman, I can't remember her name, but she was almost like a mediator. She was like part of the the Empire, and then the Freeman. She was in the middle.
Kynes, yes.
Yes,
I can't remember. Liet Kynes.
Now, give me a little background as far as the book, a little more about her, because she's an interesting character that I don't understand. She has this division here.
So Liet Kynes is a planetary ecologist, basically.
Okay.
And this plays into the 1960s social commentary of the book. Okay. So some people say this is the first sci-fi novel with a ecology, with an eco-friendly idea, with an environmental focus. Because there's ways to rejuvenate this planet, and that's not what they're doing. They're just strip mining it, basically. So she is supposed to be a planetary ecologist, and she knows the planet well, and she has lived with the Fremen, but she serves the Empire. So she is definitely playing both sides to some extent. But she's only playing to the Emperor's side so that she can protect the planet in some way. That's the idea. That's kind of, I don't know how else to say it than that. But that's why she has the knowledge she has. She knows the planet very, very, very well.
I know most of the actors. Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
That was pretty much it. She knows the planet very well. She knows the Fremen very well. And she tries to keep some sort of balance so that the planet isn't just destroyed.
Well, I mean, we have also, Tom Holland's girlfriend, Spider-Man's girlfriend in this, which is totally in the vision all the time. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Zendaya. And I thought she did really well. She didn't have a lot of lines in this film. She'll play a much larger part of the second movie.
Definitely. How do you feel about the actors? Is there one specific actor that you go, I don't know? I think they all did very good. Like I said, I don't know much about Duncan, Idaho. Was it more like Aquaman in a?
I was gonna say my biggest, if I'm going to complain about an actor, and I think they cast this really well.
Yes.
Jason Momoa was Jason Momoa.
Yes.
He was the same guy.
Exactly.
But that kind of is Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah.
He is the rough and tumble, I went out.
I was curious.
I lived with
because I don't know the book character, so he fits that part.
It does kind of fit the personality.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he tried to put something on. He just kind of played himself.
I love the actor, and I know this probably goes against the book. Okay, I'm watching, but I would like to see him live and be part of the whole thing. The Han Solo of Dune.
Yes.
with Luke Skywalker as Paul. Yes,
it would have been nice to see him, more of him in action, but unfortunately, that's just not the way story goes.
Let's go Game of Thrones.
Duncan's not dead, right?
Dunkin' Donuts? Oh, you're going to ruin it? I read some stuff in the books where I'm not going to, Gunnery, I heard that, I was reading that maybe Gunnery makes a return. I don't know. I'm just reading. I haven't read the book. I've read several articles. Some of them were spoilers, people who have read the book. So now I don't know if, but Duncan,
he does come back in later books.
Oh,
so
he's like a Borg.
I don't recall. I don't believe he comes back in Dune in this book. No. But he does come back in later books. Yes. So
does he come back in Dune Watch?
No, that would be a thing.
That would be a thing. Okay.
That would be a thing.
He's got the skin for it.
He does. Except the beard might get in the way of the swimming. I'm not sure how that would work. But I don't know. What else do you have on the movie, Mike?
Like I said,
David says he becomes part of the resistance, at least in the 1984 version. Yeah.
One thing I do, I look forward to seeing the second one. If you haven't seen it And, you know, like I said, you've heard my feelings about it. Watch it anyhow, especially if you're an HBO Max. Just, you know, sit down. It's 2.5 hours, but I think I think once you watch it and just watch it for what it is, it's a slow build up. There's some good stuff in it, cinematography, the audio, the whole bit. I love the actors. If you can push through to the end and you know, mind the, you know, the whole terrible boss battle, Jameson, I think you'll look forward to the second. And because
I think so too.
I think you'll look forward to the second. So, you know, I mean, you know, right now, if I had like, you know, I would give it 80 out of 100 right now, just because I hadn't read the book, and this is my experience as someone who's not familiar with the Dune series. So I know, what do you think? If you had to give it a rating, what would you think? We need to do like a geeky rating, you know, like 4 rads and 1, you know, gag me with a spoon or something like that. You know,
I don't. If you ask me, out of 10, I would probably put this around an 8.
Okay.
Maybe a 7, maybe an 8, 7.5.
Okay. I'm surprised.
I thought it was really good. It was slow paced, but
yeah,
it was kind of like WandaVision.
Yeah, the director had to work with what he had to work with.
Slow burn. Yeah.
Except for not 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
Not for 2 hours and a half.
That's stuff to pull off in a movie, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense, though.
Yeah.
But the one thing they really did well versus the 1984 version was the ornithopters.
The ornithopters were really cool.
They were cool. That's all I have to say.
I have to be on another show because I have no idea what that is.
The little
dragonfly
the little dragonfly.
Oh, I love the dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, they called
it was just like some kind of cube thing in the 84 version.
Oh, that's not cool.
Wing on top.
Yeah. I dig the dragonfly things that they had on this one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, the ships were cool. Yeah. The set designs were great. The costumes look great. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot to dislike.
No.
Oh my gosh. Oscar Isaacs did great.
He is so good. He gave me goosebumps. I mean, like I said, the actors.
His beard is a little funky.
It is funky. Not Bob Ross funky, but it's funky. Yes.
Yeah, it was a little funky, but
yeah.
I mean, Lady Jessica was great acting there.
Yeah, it was really good.
The guy who plays Paul did fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really well cast.
It was a great cast. I think if they could have, you know, I don't know, dealt with the pace a little better. But of course, too, I mean, from this article here, you know, he's Denise. Is it Dennis? I would call it Dennis. Is it Dennis?
Yeah, it's Dennis.
Yeah. So I give it an A fakey pig spin trick.
I don't know what that means.
But you know what? I agree with you. I'm just going to agree with you. I get that too.
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
I think it's good. I will probably watch it again at least one more time before the new movie comes out.
Yeah.
Whenever in 2023 it comes out. But I think it was better than I expected. No. It was better than I hoped it would be.
I think if I had a friend who said, okay, I saw it, it was a good movie, but it was a slow burn, and it's building up to something in the next movie or something like that, then I would go in with that. Okay, I got that anticipation, but I was going in for something more, Star Wars, something more action in between, fast pace. And so anyway,
David said that's a skateboard trick.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I will say this, Michael.
Yes, sir.
The book is a slow burn.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes. So it's true to the book.
So if I throw it in fire, it lasts for a long time. Are you talking about another?
It will burn a long time. It's like one of them Duraflame logs.
It is a really thick book.
Well,
it's a great doorstop.
Well, this winter we may have to stock up on that book if I can't get any coal. So
Yeah, if you get the series, you'll be warm all winter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the second movie should be a lot more exciting, a lot quicker paced.
Yeah.
And we're going to see more epic battle more epic battle scenes.
Well, it looks like
we really only we kind of get 2 epic battle scenes, but in this movie, but one of them is just a bunch of spaceships.
Yeah,
and then one of them isn't just isn't all that epic.
No,
there's a lot of people, but just not that epic.
But you see the almost like I don't know if it brings you to the present, ready for the next chapter, or is it actually kind of type and shadow looking, in the future? But that last scene where Paul has the blue eyes, he has the golden armor, he's fighting. Man, that's some awesome choreography there. I mean, the fighting, the flipping, the
fight choreography is really good.
So I look forward to the second one. Again, I would see it, but with remember the expectation is it is a slow burn. There's great actors. Don't expect it to be like a Star Wars sci-fi type of movie. No. It's not. You may get it on the second one. I haven't read the book. I think the second one will probably have more action involved in it, which was stated by the director himself. So anyway, I'm going to watch it again just so I can see what I missed, because I think it's a movie that if you can actually watch it again, and if you pay attention, you can probably pick up on some new things, especially.
I think so.
Especially if you hadn't read the book, or maybe if you read the book, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, but I got nothing else on this. I really, like I said, I'm glad I was able to see it on HBO Max. Would have been fun seeing it in the movie theaters. But anyway, I got Mr. Todd V down there in his Mary Poppins hat, which is awesome. I think he added to the show of, the quality that we have here. And
what quality there is.
I'm not going to go there. It's good. Yeah. So David Little said, I must drink beer. Beer is the mind killer. Beer is a little drink that brings total obliteration. I will drink my beer. I will permit the pass into me and through me. And when it has gone through me, I will turn to see beer's path. Where the beer has gone, there will be. Oh man,
only my hangover will remain.
Yeah,
nice. That was good, David.
Poetic. That was
brilliant.
Nice. That was brilliant. Well, that's all I have to say. I mean, hey, kick it off with letting people know where they can find us and where they can join the group.
Absolutely. You can find us on most social media platforms at Speaking Nerdy. You can also find all of our social links at speakingnerdy.com.
Yes,
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube as well. We would love for you to subscribe over there. And you can get us at youtube.com/speakingnerdy.
Oh, that was nice. I like that.
Well done.
Well done. And I would say what we have going on next week, but I can't remember. But we will be back.
I think we need to decide.
We need to decide.
I looked, and there's like 2 different things on the list for next week, and I don't know which we want to do.
Which one we want to do. So we're gonna decide afterwards, right? We'll decide afterwards, folks. And
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. We'll post it for you. But yeah, we're on every Wednesday, unless anything else happens. Like, I don't know, somebody ends up on the John for 24 hours. And
that's really, we're going to bring that up again.
Sorry about that. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there. I know that. Anyway. Touche.
I didn't expect that.
Boy, I did not. Oh man,
you didn't.
I can't stand punks like you.
Yes, I understand.
Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Man, we're gonna have like these meme wars.
That was supercalifragilistic.
So we're on Wednesday. I forget. We're Wednesday nights.
Every Wednesday night, right here live on Facebook.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we do this crap.
Yeah, we do this kind of crap.
That's right. Oh, hey,
hey, Adria.
Adria. Yes, right.
Adria tuned in just in time.
Maybe we should end.
Just like crap, sometimes you just got to flush it and say goodbye. So we're going to say goodbye, our friends.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
And my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe. And let's not forget the Florida man himself, Todd V. Man, a close-up is even scarier. The close-up is even scarier.